Hello everyone, my name is Mike and I am going to be your engineering teacher this year. So first, what is engineering? Engineering is solving problems using math, science and technology. So throughout the year, we are going to work with the design process, learn how to communicate through drawings. We're going to create a life-saving tool. We are going to understand how structures work. We're going to work with different metals and magnets. And we are going to do all this using a practical physics. So what are we going to do online? First, we are going to start by learning how to use and understand the design process. We are going to learn about different drawings, how to create them, and what is needed to read and understand a drawing. Okay, so let's start with our first lesson. We are going to learn how to create a drawing. We will learn what we need to see on the drawing and what all the information means. So let us start. But first you need a ruler, a sharp pencil, an eraser, a pencil sharpener, and your grid paper. Yeah, so let's start to draw. Okay, so let's create our first drawing. We have to start with creating our title block, and this gives us the needed information to know what kind of drawing it is, what are we looking at, who created it, and what is the scale of our drawing. Okay, so let's start. When we look at our grid paper, we can see we have some empty space. So we're going to start by creating a thick dark line at the first visible line we can see. Draw your line exactly on this line. Now we are going to measure. We're creating our first block. We're going to take 2 blocks up and draw another thick line. Yeah, once we have that line, we go another 2 blocks up. So 1, 2. Remember, your lines should be exactly on the grid lines. Do not go over the grid lines. Next, we are going to measure 10 blocks in. And we are going to draw a dark line down. And next, another 10 lines. Okay, now we have 4, but we need 6, so we will go another 10 lines. Now we have our title block. What is the information that we need in this title block? The first piece of information we need is we need to know who drew this drawing. So we need your name. So then you can write your name. Next, I need to know which class you are in. Or which class are you in? Then I need the drawing name. What? We're gonna write drawing name. Yeah, so we have our drawing name. Then, what date did you create this drawing? So now I know when you created this drawing. Yeah. Next, what is the scale of this drawing? Is it bigger? Is it smaller? Okay, so let's start our drawing. When drawing, there are a lot of different line types that we use. The first line type we are going to use is called a center line. And we are going to use it to get the center of our workspace. Our workspace is this part right here. So what does a center line look like? It looks like this. It's a very light line. It's a long stroke, followed by a gap, a short stroke, and then another long stroke. So it will look like this. Okay. So this is what a center line looks like. You can start by going down and create your center line. Remember, this is a very light line. It's only for your reference. It makes it easier to create our drawings. Now we have our center line. It's a very light line and it won't be always. Now let's start. We are going to measure 5 blocks from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And mark it. From the center line, we are going to count 10 blocks to the left. Yeah, and mark it. And then from the center line again, 10 blocks to the right. Okay. Once you have those two marked, we are going to draw a thick, solid line. These thick, solid lines show us the very important information that we need to see. Okay. Once we have our baseline, we are going to count 15 blocks up. Yeah. Now that we have 2 thick solid lines, one on the top, one at the bottom, we are going to connect them. Now we have our rectangle, and have a look, all my lines are neatly connected. Once we have our rectangle, we are going to count another 5 blocks up.
And make a light.
Now our drawing is starting to look like something. We are drawing the front view of a house. So that is why we have a title block. Now we are going to write it in our title block. Go. Now we can see the name of our outline. What else does a house need? We need windows and a door. So let's draw that. From our center line, we are going to measure 4 blocks up. And from that center line, 1 block to the left and 1 block to the right. Yeah, now we have our door. From the roof, we are going to measure 2 blocks down. Yeah. And from our first wall, we are going to measure 2 blocks in. Once we have that point, we're going to measure 4 blocks to the right. And then 3 blocks down. Now we are going to create the exact same window on the right-hand side. Okay. Now we have our windows and a door. Okay. Now, what other piece of information will we need? Well, I don't know. Now we have completed our first drawing, and it is the front view of a house. Now I want you to go and write your name, your class, and the date. I will teach you about how to write scale in our next lesson. Remember to keep your pencils sharp and your hands clean. We do not want any dirty marks on our drawings because we've worked very hard on them. Okay, thank you very much and see you